Today's podcast is brought to you by SpaceMystery, the place where you can learn about the universe and its mysteries. Hello, my dear astrophiles, and welcome to another episode of Space Mystery. I'm your host, Carla Lopez, and in today's episode, I would like to take you into a new adventure to learn about the stars. Yes, the stars that you see every night when there is a clear sky. We will explore about their birth, the different changes they go through in their life, and their death. You will also learn some interesting facts that you might have never heard before. So, let's start to learn about stars. We all know how beautiful stars are, right? And how romantic they can be. But have you ever thought about how they are created? Well, like everything in the universe, they have a beginning and an end. Let's start with their birth. So, according to the NASA's website, everything starts as a cloud that is made of dust and gas. Then, all of the particles inside of this cloud start to collide with each other because gravity is pulling all of them together. So, they start to spin really fast, like a blender, heating up all the particles. All of this process creates a star, known as a baby star, which is really small in size at the beginning, but it starts to grow with time. Which reminds me about an interesting fact. Did you know that our sun is a star, right? If you didn't, that's okay, now you know. Well, our sun seems to be really big, but if we compare our sun to the other stars in the universe, our sun is small. Actually, most stars are bigger and brighter than our sun, which is kind of scary but amazing, don't you think? Now that we know about their birth, it would be a little time to know about the different changes that a star goes through during its life, which could also be seen as the life stages. After their birth, the first stage that we have is known as the main sequence, which is the stage in which the star will stay most of its life. And for this one, we have two types of stars. We have the stars that are similar to our sun, which are small, and then we have the stars that grow bigger and brighter than our sun and cover 90% of the universe. During this time, the star is creating a lot of fuel through the nuclear fusion. The next stage that we have is known as the old age. For this one, we have the red giant for smaller stars and the red supergiant for bigger stars. During this time, the red giants start to run out of hydrogen and all the chemicals start to fuse into carbon, giving the appearance to the star of an orange color, something that will happen to our sun, but it's gonna happen in like 5 billion years. We also want to know what happens to the red supergiants. Well, this star starts to get even bigger and brighter. This happens because all the chemicals start to react different since it's also running out of fuel. The amazing thing about this is that the star keeps making nuclear fusion, even without having all the right chemicals to do it, which is something that I find to be really incredible. Talking about the nuclear fusion and when a star runs out of fuel reminds me about an interesting fact that I want to share with you. We might think that bigger stars live longer, but the truth is that smaller stars do. This is because smaller stars don't need to make as much chemical reaction as bigger stars, which makes them run out of fuel slower. And also, despite having a lot of chemical reactions, bigger stars are colder than our sun. Yes, stars might be incredible, but just like everything else in the universe, they have an end. After it goes through all the different life stages that we just talked about, once the star reaches the ending phase, the most magnificent and scary thing happens. There is a huge explosion that is known as a supernova. You might have heard this term before or seen this before in movies or TV shows. Finally, the remaining material stays as a neutron star or creates a black hole. The first time I heard that a star dies with an explosion, I was really scared to be honest, but as my astronomy professor said, don't worry, our sun is very young and it has a million more years to live. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. I really hope you enjoy your travel to the stars. Don't forget to come back next week for the new episode, How Possible Is It to Find Life Out There? Also, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on our social media. Until the next time, bye!
10,